Alright, let's dive into something that's got the tech world buzzing: Samsung's big move to roll out AirDrop support over Quick Share, starting with the Galaxy S26 series. But here's the thing, this isn't just another software update. It's a strategic play that could reshape how Android and iOS users interact. Personally, I think this is a game changer, but not for the reasons you might expect. First off, let's talk about the timing. Samsung's announcement comes hot on the heels of Google's Pixel devices getting the same feature. What makes this really interesting is how it highlights the growing trend of Android manufacturers playing nice with Apple's ecosystem. It's almost like they're acknowledging that, love it or hate it, iOS isn't going anywhere, and interoperability is the future. In my opinion, this is less about Samsung catching up and more about them positioning themselves as the Android brand that gets it when it comes to cross-platform compatibility. Now, here's a detail I find fascinating. Unlike Google's implementation, Samsung isn't enabling AirDrop support by default. Instead, you'll have to manually toggle a setting under Quick Share to share with Apple devices. What this really suggests is that Samsung is taking a cautious approach, maybe even testing the waters to see how users respond. It's a smart move, honestly. They're giving users control while avoiding potential backlash from those who might not want their Galaxy phones too cozy with iPhones. But let's take a step back and think about the bigger picture. This rollout isn't just about sharing files more easily, it's about breaking down the walls between ecosystems. What many people don't realize is that these small interoperability features can have a ripple effect. Today it's AirDrop, tomorrow it could be seamless integration of other services. If you ask me, this is the first step toward a future where choosing between Android and iOS isn't as binary as it used to be. One thing that immediately stands out is the regional rollout strategy. Samsung's starting in Korea, then the US, and eventually expanding to Europe, Asia, and Latin America. From my perspective, this phased approach is a way to manage expectations and iron out any kinks before going global. It's also a nod to the importance of these markets in Samsung's overall strategy. Korea, for instance, is their home turf, while the US and Europe are battlegrounds where they're constantly vying for dominance against Apple. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why does this matter? Well, for starters, it's a win for consumers. Anyone who's ever tried to share a file between an Android phone and an iPhone knows the frustration. But what's really intriguing is how this could influence the competitive dynamics between Samsung and Apple. Personally, I think Samsung is using this as a way to differentiate itself from other Android manufacturers. By offering something Apple users care about, they're making their devices more appealing to a broader audience. This raises a deeper question, though: is this the beginning of a trend? With Oppo also announcing AirDrop support for their devices, it's clear that Android manufacturers are starting to prioritize cross-platform compatibility. In my opinion, this could force Apple to rethink its walled garden approach. After all, if Android phones can play nice with iPhones, why can't iPhones return the favor? Here's where it gets really interesting. Samsung's implementation requires iPhone users to enable Everyone mode for AirDrop. It's a small detail, but it speaks volumes about the power dynamics at play. Samsung's essentially saying, we'll meet you halfway, but you've got to do your part too. It's a subtle way of asserting their position in the ecosystem while still offering a solution. So, what's the takeaway here? For me, this isn't just about a new feature, it's about the shifting landscape of the tech industry. Samsung's move is a strategic play to stay relevant in a world where ecosystems are colliding. It's also a reminder that, in the end, it's the users who stand to benefit the most. But here's the real question I'm left with. Will this push Apple to open up more, or will they double down on their closed ecosystem? Only time will tell. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.